Good morning. I would like to start our chapel by reading you a story. This is called The Doorbell Rang by Pat Hutchins. So the doorbell rang. And we can see that this lady has been baking some cookies. Looks like chocolate chip. "I've made some cookies for tea," said Ma. "Good," said Victoria and Sam. "We're starving." "Share them between yourselves," said Ma. "I made plenty." "That's 6 each," said Sam and Victoria. "They look as good as Grandma's," said Victoria. "They smell as good as Grandma's," said Sam. "No one makes cookies like Grandma," said Ma, as the doorbell rang. It was Tom and Hannah from next door. "Come in," said Ma. "You can share the cookies." "That's 3 each," said Sam and Victoria. "They smell as good as your Grandma's," said Tom. "And look as good," said Hannah. "No one makes cookies like Grandma," said Ma, as the doorbell rang. It was Peter and his little brother. "Come in," said Ma. "You can share the cookies." "That's 2 each," said Victoria and Sam. "They look as good as your Grandma's," said Peter, "and smell as good." "Nobody makes cookies like Grandma," said Ma, as the doorbell rang. It was Joy and Simon with their 4 cousins. "Come in," said Ma. "You can share the cookies." Do these others look happy to have more guests? "That's 1 each," said Sam and Victoria. "They smell as good as your Grandma's," said Joy. "And look as good," said Simon. "No one makes cookies like Grandma," said Ma, as the doorbell rang again. And rang. Oh no, they're down to only 1 cookie each. Will they welcome more guests? "Oh dear," said Ma, as the children stared at the cookies on their plates. "Perhaps you'd better eat them before we open the door." "We'll wait," said Sam. It was Grandma with an enormous tray of cookies. "How nice to have so many friends to share them with," said Grandma. "It's a good thing I made a lot." "And no one makes cookies like Grandma," said Ma, as the doorbell rang. Do you think they'll have enough this time? It looks like there's a whole tray full. I like that story because I thought it was just right for a chapel about hospitality. Hospitality is a bit of a long word. It is a word that's used in the Bible quite a lot. Hospitality means having people over and especially sharing food with those people, inviting people into your home, sharing food together. In the Bible, if you ate food together, that was like a promise that you would make to always be friends. And so it was really, really important. There are quite a lot of verses in here about hospitality, hospitality to friends, hospitality to strangers. Here, one verse that I found from Romans chapter 12, verse 13, says, "Contribute to the needs of the saints." That means the other people in the community. "And extend hospitality to strangers." So the Bible asks us not only to be hospitable to our friends, but also to be hospitable to strangers. Now, it's a little bit different thinking about hospitality these days. Ever since COVID started, we've been told not to have people over, not to go to other people's houses, not to share food, and it's hard because we want to share. We want to be generous. We want to spend time with friends and family. That's really, really important. And for me last year, it made me think about it differently. We are almost coming to Christmas. It will be Advent on Sunday, which is one of my favorite seasons. And there is so much Christmas baking that I love to do every year and that I love to share with my family and friends. And I live all alone at my house. So last Christmas, I spent the day all by myself. So I had to be creative and think of different ways to think of other people, to be connected to other people. So one of those ways that I did was to use special things in my home. Like on Christmas morning, I lit this candle in this very beautiful candle holder because my good friend Joan gave me this candle holder. So that let me feel connected to her on Christmas. And I baked one of my favorite pies to eat for breakfast on Christmas morning. And I baked it in my grandma's pie tin. You can see it's been used a lot. My grandma is no longer living. If she were still alive, she would be 110 years old. So you can see this pie pan has been used for many years. But making a pie in it for myself to eat helped me feel connected to my grandma that I haven't been able to see for many, many years. I also have some favorite Christmas cookies that I like to bake. They are called pepper nuts. They're really tiny. They're not especially beautiful, but they're spicy and they taste really good. You can hear them rattling. They're just little tiny cookies, but it's hard to eat one and stop there. But even though they're little, it makes a big batch. Last year, I filled up this whole giant jar with pepper nuts, but I didn't eat them all by myself. I made so many that I was able to make some little packages to send to people. I sent some cookies to my brother, who was all alone in Ottawa and also couldn't be together with anyone. I sent some cookies to my mom and dad. I sent some to my sister and her family. I sent some to my cousins and my aunts and uncles and some of my friends. And that way, even though we couldn't eat a meal together, I was able to feel like I was extending hospitality and being generous by sharing food with other people who were not able to be together with me. So that really helped me at Christmas time to feel more creative and more of just new ways to be with others and to extend that hospitality that God asks us to do. So, yeah, there's a lot of different things that I love to bake at Christmas. I'm sure that you and your families have special foods that you like to make for celebrations that are just make it extra exciting. So that's really wonderful. So now to end, I would just like to say a little prayer. Dear God, thank you so much for the gifts that you share with us, for the people that you share with us who love us and who we love. Help us to remember to share our gifts, the things that we can do, the things that we enjoy with others, so that we can share the joy that you give to us with everyone around us and find a way to be hospitable to others that way. Thank you for this day and for everyone here in our community. Amen. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.